yeah, just that competition too. Like, is that like also that urge to set myself apart? I think that's where inspiration comes from. Trying to set myself apart.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you when you started describing like wanting to be awestruck. And I was seeing that from like two perspectives because when you started describing like different nature and areas. So I wanted to ask like if you sought to create that as a reaction to your work, or is that something that you seek as far as your inspiration? So when you create your work, you try to capture what you saw that struck you. It's like, all right, I'm trying to recreate.
I try to capture the feel. Not necessarily recreate. I think so when I do my shoots with just people, everything like that, I'll shoot them a reference of every thought that I had, of possible looks that I think can fit or look right, or and then we'll go down there and tailor it to that. And when I'm shooting it, I innately when I see something here, I'm like, yeah, it just clicks. Because I've been doing it for so long. At first, I didn't know what I was looking for, but it's there'll be a look, a feel, a tilt, however, I don't ask for certain poses. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, scratch your ear one more time. And I get they're like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm like, walk this way and then kick your foot, turn around. They're like, huh? And half the shots would be the in-betweens. But I'm catching that motion with that motion, I'll just lock it in. It'll be that little moment or whatever. One of my latest shoots, I was asking homegirl to put her hair up. She was doing this. And she was doing this and man, and then kind of fell forward. I was like, leave that. It just, it wasn't something that I was looking for, but I saw it looked right when I saw it, you know what I mean?
It sounds like another moment I feel like I had when I realized when I understood what art meant to me, what inspired me by art when I felt like I could recognize good art as opposed to just being art. It was this piece that I saw. I think I saw it online. It was an installation piece. It was a water fountain shooting out water, and I think it might have a colors only sign over it. And so I think I was already in the mind state of that, with the work that I was creating at the time. So I saw that piece, and I was just
I saw something similar in New York.
I saw it online, so I don't know where it was originally. But it was in an exhibition. But I remember just seeing that piece, and without even reading about what it was about, I felt like I knew what it was. You know what I mean? I just felt it immediately. I was just that's concept, medium. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because when I think of grad school taught me the importance of medium in art, and I understand that most people create with what's available, and so when people think of art, their first thought is, oh, you paint or you draw, because that's usually what's available, and so you create an image that that could resonate. So the idea of that piece, you could have painted that water fountain, shooting out water, colored only, people can get it, but when you physically make it a real thing,
when you seek what's not available, and that's kind of the vibe. That
idea of the installation, it sets you in that place to where you can understand that the feeling. But then what took it over the edge was when I did read about it, and I think that the water coming out was green or something like that. So I thought it was I thought it was a play on either Gatorade or just no, I think it was just the pun between 19 Jim Crow era of kind of those Americana signages and things of that nature, colors only, and actually colored water. So I thought it was just playing off of that at the simplest, colored water. And I read about it, and the piece was actually about Flint, Michigan. That's when I just fell out. I was yo! So I was it's threefold, double entendre, triple entendre, deep. This is crazy. I don't remember the artist's name. I probably could find it if I search hard enough, but the name was so simple. I probably get a million results. But at that moment, I was just everything came together and connected with that piece. I was I get it, I understand. And I think from that moment on, I felt like I was able to see a piece and immediately be yeah, that moves me. So if I walk into a homie's exhibition selling works. Now I can walk around and like glance at everything, and have passed by something and be like, yeah, that's the one. I either need that, or I'm gonna tell them that's the one that's the hardest and why.
Right.
So
yeah, and I think when you get there, it kind of changes your look on art. Like it changes like how you receive art.
Yeah.
And, like I got known at ODU for being super critical. Like I wasn't here for no bullshit. Like you know what I'm saying. Like I'm working like this is like during the time like doing all that shit with like Greta and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I'm thinking like she out to get me. Like I ain't fucking with nobody's work. I'm like, man, no, they ain't gonna do all that. Blah blah blah. And people just come up put some stuff. I'm like, what is this? Why? Because like it had come to that point where I had seen so much work, and then like trying to like fit my work or move something differently. That like I had got to that point where I was starting to see art, you know, as something that like was like moving, so to speak. And I just became super critical. Like they know me, these like, yo, you know, we're about to say some crazy shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Because it's like. It wasn't like I wasn't like looking to be offensive about my work. Like people like I don't like this. I don't like this better. I didn't like try to flip out and defend them. Like, all right, thank you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think it like threw them off that like I could be critical, but then still take criticism. That's also where the moniker like bonehead artist comes from. Because like when I was younger, I hated criticism. I hated it, bro. Like don't touch my paper. Don't tell me what to do. Nothing. Like I remember I had this like this teacher, Miss Frost, in high school, and she was like saying something, and she touched my paper. I was doing a self portrait. I swear I had everything down to the T. And she touched my eyes, and she shaded in my eyes, and it lost the life in my picture, and it made my picture just not look like me anymore. And I was done. I was literally done with art at that point. Like. I think I stopped drawing for like a year after that class was over. Like, that's how serious it was, right? So, yeah, like, you know, when it comes down to like your inspiration, what you see in art, it's like, it's gotta be something that moves you.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause so like I went scrolling through your Instagram and stuff, and I'm just like, you know, I just follow the story of what you share. And I'm gonna show you this picture because this is one that like stood out to me.
Okay.
But on a larger scale, like what I do like the most is that like the contrast in your work, because for me, that's just my contrast is my favorite thing. Like that Caravaggio's classic, just like stark contrast. Like this is here and this is not. Like that absence is like so powerful. I think. And so like I was looking at it. It's funny, like when I saved this picture, when I first saw it, it was like this. You know what I mean? I was just like, I liked it because I couldn't. In this film, I couldn't see it. I'm gonna try to put it up there. But I couldn't see anything else. It was just a shape, and I was just like, oh, this hit me like the surreal moment. It's like, it's like my surrealism. Whereas it's just I know there's a hand, but like just this shape just came out as. I was trying to find a new definition for it at that point. You know what I mean? It almost reminded me of that. That's like the classic sculpture of the kiss. You just got like two faces down. Like I'm just me looking at it now.
Yeah.
But then like when I saved it, just because like now that there's no white there, I was able to see a little bit more of what's there, but it doesn't take away from what I saw originally.
Right.
I just like I was like, yo, that like after school, like, it was like same thing I just said. Like you can scroll through a whole joint, but like. The one that stands out is the one I'm gonna be like, all right, boom. So like, and I wasn't scrolling with the intention to find like official or whatever. I was just like scrolling just to get some reference.
Nah, man,
and that one popped out, and I was just like, I gotta holler about this one. Even though
bro. If there's more you want to holler about, like, feel free because like I kind of like that. Like a lot of people come to me like, I really like your work. Which ones do you like? Why? You know what I'm saying? But like they're and I feel like it's gotten down to the taboo because like I'm kind of seen as like the boudoir photographer and stuff like that. And it's not all I do.
Right.
It's like that's what people like are enamored by, and it's like I'm enamored by it too because like I feel like the male gaze is sometimes like seen as like some crude like you just want to look at it, let's cut this ass. So it's like it is an ass. But how can I make this beautiful so we can all appreciate it?
Yeah.
Another thing with like language. So like my thesis work or my final project for like my retirement class, I did this thing called the body series. I'm still not even finished with that because I still had another way that I wanted to like, I guess, present it. Because I wanted to present in an abstract manner, and that's kind of where I was going to, like with how that looked, that abstract feel.
Yeah.
And it's presenting people with no clothes on, men and women, androgynous and such and whatever, in a form where you can't deny the beauty. Because like you can call a guy Jack, but you can't say he's beautiful.
Right.
Like you need to be comfortable with yourself. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like just trying to like get down that language and like, you know, see something that's like fearful, because like even that was like doing like a search for me. Like my search, I was like, oh, why can't I like, you know, photograph a man and then not be anything? It's like, am I attracted to dudes? It's like, dude, like, you know, walk down that road and see what's up. And it's like, not attracted to dudes, but I can like be comfortable enough to say like a dude's beautiful, and not feel no type of way about it. And it's like I actually started other people to like resonate and see that. That's what like really like got me pumped on like seeing how I can talk through my work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I want to get into that some more.
Yeah,
Since you made it remind me of something to me.
You plug it up?
I can't do that. I just gotta take the battery out and charge it. So we just gotta go what we got. But that's cool. It'll create a limit. When it be on red, it be lasting that long for some reason. Right. Let me reset the time. Kyler also said that he's too sleepy, so he actually not coming from the last text I skimmed over. Yeah, right. That's classic Kyler. Yeah. But yeah, so like as you were talking about, like walking down that road of like questioning yourself as to like, you know, why it resonates. That statement resonates with me because I feel like that and I didn't feel like I'm trying to get out of used to saying. I was like, this is exactly what happened for me. Right. I had to so when I was creating, you know, my agents before I had titles for them, you know, my like as I was doing like my preliminary research before I even extended the next or whatever, you know, I was always looking for like, well, for one, I thought I was a narcissist because I was always drawing myself, but it was like it was my closest reference. Like I said, I'm selfish, but it's like it's just because that's what I got access to, and I'm not confident enough to just ask people for photos and be like, can you stare? Pose for me?
Yeah, and that was another thing too. Like
and then but like, it was easy to grab people's images from the internet, right? Like, oh, you right there on, you know, you shared this, so you comfortable with this, so I should be able to just recreate this for my studies, which is, you know, essentially where that whole body of work came from. But what I found myself in was that like I was always trying to, I found myself always like going to the same muses. You know what I mean? Like people already knew I knew it, like did good poses on their own images, and I was like, I'm always like, I felt like the idea of beauty that I was looking for was just too, it was stuck. It was like, all right, I'm looking for the same 3 or 4 people for images, and I was like, I should be able to appreciate anybody's image and capture them in whatever beauty they are. And so that's when I was just like, I had to create a formula for myself, and I talk about this in another video. So just go watch Off Topic when I talk about when I got like reference my agent series and how I got to it. But it was when I became more aware of like my body, like my ideas of beauty and being body conscious of other people, and truly admitting to what I felt about body types. You know what I mean? To myself, because I mean, I ain't got to do it to nobody else. But it was like, how do I really feel about it? And so, you know, I pushed myself to be like, all right, how can I ensure that I, you know, encounter different body types and force myself to find, you know, the beauty in it. It was Instagram. It was like, yo, I could just scroll through my followers, and at that time, like your followers stayed in order from whoever first followed you to last. So I could literally like check off. I already did them. And that's when I found myself just like really embracing like all these people that you know, at that point, most of the people I followed or followed me was like the people I knew, I met. So I was able to kind of tell stories through that work. I could, you know. It also forced me to like focus on my experience with them. Like, who are you to me? And now I'm going to tell that story. It has this. So it's me. It's like, this is who you are through my eyes, and I appreciate you for sharing this with the world. Because I'm like, it's a hell of a stage to put yourself out there on. You know what I mean? Like, and knowing that everybody in the world can see that. So
yeah.
But yeah, like it was when I faced that, I was like, yo, I have an affinity towards body types, and I need to adjust my thinking so that I could be more, accepting and all of that. And at that moment, I was like, all right, cool. I faced my, whatever my.
It's like a doubt. It's like a weird self doubt. You're like, like why do I do this, and like why am I doing that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think we can get caught up, at least in regards to like what you're attracted to. You can get caught up in your preference versus just recognizing something as beautiful.
Right.
You know what I mean? I might like slim women. That don't mean I don't appreciate a larger woman. It's just that they ain't my preference to be with.
Right.
But I can still appreciate and see the beauty in it. My mother's a big woman. All the women in my family are really. So it's like, if I can't appreciate it, if I say that about my mother, like, dang, check yourself, boy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's like, and that's like another thing. Like when it goes down to like, what I see, like it'd be something that like, the model like won't even think it's like a nice feature. And I'm like, that right there, and they're like, huh?
Yeah.
And it's like it's like that's what I live for. It's like that obscurity, like finding the beauty in the obscurity of things. Like, it may not be something that you're like completely like sold on.
Yeah.
But I find like, beauty in that. Like I went to this quarry with the dude Matt Fine, who was like picking up like rocks and stuff. But like he couldn't fathom why I was so taken back by being in a rock pit. I'm just like, this is like an experience, a moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing things that most people like don't have an idea about or idea of. Like, you don't understand the sheer size of that shit. Where you're standing like at a cliff, right? And the cliff is about this wide, right? But then it just goes down to like another 60-foot drop to another cliff this wide, and then another 60-foot drop to another cliff this wide. But then they're up in the middle of this like fucking like valley. And right by the office, they got these like hydro cutters where they shoot streams of water, and that's how they cut the stone. Yeah. That shit's crazy, bro. Like, but that shit had me like, I was so thrown off. And like on the way out, we saw one of the old crane mills, and I was like, "Oh, can you stop, please? Like, I'm trying to take the shot." He was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, I need this shot. And I'm just gonna give me the truck over there. I'm like, I just need to get the shot just right, blah 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 blah. He's like, okay. I was working on a project. Matter of fact, I'll show you. I was working on a project for this show that we had called Sliders, and oh, right. Appreciate it. We were working on Sliders and whatnot, and I did that. I did that one where I matched it up with like a very classy like formal dinner, I guess dining room, so to speak, or dining atrium and whatnot. But I call it framework. I feel like everything has something that like structurally makes it dynamic or beautiful. And then I had another one that was like, so Marcel Duchamp was a prolific illustrator. I didn't know that.
It's a lot of it.
Bruh, had me shook. So I did one piece that was of that, and then I did another piece that was of that one I was telling you about, framework. And it really just like, it really sold me on the idea that like, nothing's beautiful unless you go searching for the beauty in it. Nothing. Person, people, place, thing, animal, anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's another thing I just like find. It doesn't matter who or what it is. It's like, I can find something beautiful in it because it's not because I always see the upside. It's like, I genuinely try to resonate with that moment, like, or that person in that moment to like, capture them, like, or place or thing, the essence. Yeah. I try to like speak on like the idea of essence. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that come off as like corny, not even corny, but like, it's almost like basic because everybody's like, oh, I'm looking for the essence in this thing. Like you can easily be like, oh, everybody's looking for the essence, but it's important. Like it just,
right,
that's the word for it. Like that's just what it is. Like I'm looking for the essence of this thing, and until I get it, I'm gonna keep trying to figure it out.
Right, and it's like until you
get it.
Yeah, and it's like until you find it, you don't know until you find it.
Yeah,
and I think that's why people like my work is because like I hope that they see or feel some type of essence in things. I forgot how far back this was.
I think even in my work, when I was talking about when I first got started with it, like I was, early on I recognized that like what I'm creating is the essence that I feel. You know what I mean? So even if like I can't say that I'm actually depicting this person's soul or their essence, because I mean like how they view themselves and their essence is different from me. But that's why I acknowledged it at that moment. Like what was created was two people's understanding coming together, and this is what the result is, and it now has its own separate life because this is just what these two entities came up with, and this is my creation of that. But it's like that's you might not even see yourself in that light because somebody might see it and like, dang, like I didn't even know, and I think a lot of reactions I got from people is like, I didn't even know you thought of me that way. Like that is so beautiful. Like you depicted that so like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm here to tell my truth. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to claim that it's yours. This is my best version of what it is that I see, and it's really more of a selfish aspect, but doing due diligence in my selfishness, like.
Right, bro.
Because I mean, just to capture somebody's image without their permission is like that's selfish too. Like, like why do you do that? Now I can go make money off it. You know what I mean? This is the mill.
Yeah.
You're saying oh yeah.
And then you see the light. You would just slide behind it.
This is all just my mom. This one inside of you.
Oh no, I stood outside on the road.
Okay. See some of these like reflections.
Oh, so this is a slide.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, so I superimposed the slide on it.
10-4. Yeah, I thought this was saying. Yeah. I was about to say, like, that's
just like just to show the idea that like, or like this one. This is another one of my favorite shots.
Yeah, as I was scrolling, I saw that one.
Yeah, just like two cops like chilling doing their thing, but like it's not something that's like. Man, it's not absurd or anything. It's just like them living, like but it was that moment, just like them, like whatever caught their attention. But they was both like living their life together in that moment, and they both their heads were turned. And there was just something. I'm like literally the story behind that. Like I'm rushing in the subway to get to a train. Like I'm with my homegirl. We're like going to like some party and shit, and I'm just like. That like as we're walking like that, they're like, what? They're like, we gotta catch a train with it. Exactly, bro. Exactly what happened. And that I was so pleased.
Yeah,
so pleased.
Yeah, I think like things like that can easily get like because like UX had the experience that led up to capturing that.
Mm-hmm.
All people see is the product, and they're like, oh man, two cops looking into the right. It's like, yeah, but he had to. Like that's time, like all the timing and stuff that has to come into effect. Cause like there was no communication with you and the cops to say, "Hey, hold that," or nothing. It was like the timing just had to be perfect. Like I caught this. They looking this way. Their attention is somewhere else, and I was, I was attentive enough, even in my rushing, that I was
right.
I need to hold this moment before I lose it.
Exactly, man, and that's it. It's stuff like that like just plays a part. Like Yeah, like it's just like there's another photo that I took of my best friend when we were there, and we were like sitting in her house, we were drinking wine and stuff. But I feel like I captured her soul right there, and she's so genuine. Like she was just talking, I just like pulled up the camera. I didn't say hold it or nothing. Yeah, and it's just like right or what was this shit? This became like one of my like biggest pieces because we were just sitting there after an after party, And I saw the honey. I was just sitting there. I'm like, yo, can I take a picture real quick, please? She was like, what? I was like, yo. She started putting. I was like, no. Stay just how you are, please. She was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. And it was just a vibe, dog. Like it was just a vibe. And like I'm turning into a triptych, so I started like doing triptychs because that wasn't my thing at first. And I was just like, because I just saw like it was how my eye hit her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just everything about it. It was like her pose, her outfit, what she was drinking, what she was doing, like just her demeanor, her vibe. And that's how I try to treat like the photography.
Alright. So in like 2 minutes, night shift.
What is night shift, or just speak on it?
Yeah. Get them away.
Night shift, just like it came about because it was like me, Kyler, my friend Jay, and my homie Roland, my homie Corey. We were done with school. It was like, damn, man, like I don't got no motivation. So we would just go to the school, like, because we had access. We would just go to the school and like vibe, like each other, just like check each other's minds out when it came down to our work and shit. And we just started talking about that shit one day. And then like Cheryl White, I forgot how the conversation was about. She was like, if you could put something together, maybe I can get you guys a show. And then we started a group. Like it was just like that. Well, I just got a bunch of people together. You know, she gave us the idea, premise, and then we met at Toast one night, and we hashed out like what we were trying to do with it, what we were going to be about, and we formed a night shift. That was like 4 years ago. I think it was like right as Glassville opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Like right before or right as Glassville opened up. And we just grinded, man. It was just like talking about the fact that like we're all artists and like we just spent like our off days or off hours trying to like really like fill that in, you know what I'm saying? And it just stuck. And it was like show after show after show after show. But it was like then more homies want to be a part of it. So like they've since returned to their home cities. Yeah. But like we had people all around the world, like people in Taiwan, people in like China, a couple people in Europe, like at the time, like
the homie Dawit was rocking with y'all.
He was. Yeah, like I never got him to get in the show. And I figured that he just like, you know, moving on to greener pastures type deal. So it's like, yeah, like I remember Dawit like I forgot how I got introduced to him. But I was like, yo, like you should come chop it up with us, like be in our group. Like we try to like, you know, make a name for photographers and stuff. I think like he was in the group for a year, but I think he was honestly working on the project that got him the notice or notoriety that like led to him moving to like Brooklyn. So like, yeah, it was just like timing. Yeah. But like, yeah, I respected Dawit from the beginning. Like I was just trying to like get every like, you know, photographer that like I fucked with or thought were like great to be in there. Cause it's hard. Like I think it's like hard to really like keep a drive. Like when it comes down to like capturing photos, and you start questioning why you're capturing or what you're capturing for what. So yeah.
We'll check real quick, see if the mug's still on. Yep, and I got 2 minutes. I'm gonna do this wrap up real quick.
Alright.
I'm supposed to come in mad. This is mad fake. Alright. See, we're about to wrap this up. You know what I mean? This is a super dope conversation. I was expecting to get interrupted, but you know, sadly that didn't happen. Mugs be sleepy out here in the world. But this has been a fire conversation, bro. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me.
Like I said, I learned a lot more about you and your processes, and I liked it. We got the chance to sit down finally. Yeah. Just to even do this. You know what I mean? You can give people. I mean, it's gonna be in the linkage and stuff below, but you know, you got like how to follow you, how to find you, stuff like that. So they can hear vocally.
Yeah, search Bonehead _artist. Search Night Shift. or search Bonehead Illustrations. Yeah, I'm around.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So yeah. I mean, that's the wrap up. There ain't much else to that. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep these conversations going. I'm gonna get somebody else up in here. I just realized I need to like get some more women artists here. I only like interview. Well, I've interviewed 2 now, but like after a while, some be like, "Yo, you only about guys." I was like, "Nah, it's just like this who's comfortable coming out right now." I can't. We're gonna holler at me, but we'll bring out some more fire content, more conversations. You know what I mean? And other than that, yo, Agency Arts, MBA out of here. Like, follow, subscribe, notify, and then we out of here. Yo, bye. Oh yeah.